Hi friends. By my calculations, this is day 19 of our sheltering in place. And I've been thinking this week that we have used a particular set of muscles to get us through these first 2 or 3 weeks. And as we have heard this week, that this time is likely to go on for quite a bit longer. It's like we need a different set of muscles to take us through, almost like moving from running a sprint to running a marathon. And it is different to know that we might be sheltering in place for 4 or 6 weeks, maybe longer. And so I'm thinking about living in an in-between place for a while longer. And I'm thinking about how many stories we have from our tradition about in-between places that can help us think about how we are going to get through this time. I'm thinking about the Exodus. Remember when the Israelites were led to freedom out of Egypt through the Red Sea, and what it must have felt like to them to realize that the promised land was not right next door to the Red Sea. That once they got through that one hurdle, they were not finished. The book of Exodus says, God led the people to the promised land by the roundabout way. I love that, by the roundabout way, meaning not even the most direct route, the fastest way to get there, but by a way that had something to teach them while they were out in the middle of the wilderness for a very long time. I wonder what it felt like to them to realize they were going to be there for months, maybe even years, longer than they had realized. I'm thinking about wetlands, that space in between a body of water, a lake or an ocean, and the dry land, and how what happens in the wetlands is that fertile, rich soil is developed that nurtures the lives of birds and animals, but it's messy and mucky and hard to walk in. That too is an in-between space that has richness in it, but that we probably wouldn't choose to live on and to build our homes on in a permanent way. I'm thinking about the story of the Garden of Gethsemane. As we come up to Holy Week next week, that night when Jesus was in between his life and his death the next day, that garden where he went and prayed. And you remember what the story says the disciples did while Jesus was praying in the garden? They fell asleep. They fell asleep because it is hard to stay awake, to stay attentive in that in-between space. It confuses our senses. It makes us feel out of place and uncertain. And so the disciples, they went to sleep, and Jesus pleaded with them, please, would you just stay awake with me? It is hard for us to stay awake. I know in myself there are some days when I just feel numb. Like it's hard to feel normal in this time. But if we can stay awake and attentive, this is where new things are born in us, where good things happen and learning happens and new growth. And so I wonder if you will think about, for these next weeks ahead, what are the new practices and habits that will make you feel attentive and alive in this in-between time? What will make you feel as productive as you need to feel? Are there 1 or 2 things every day that can make you feel productive? What will make you feel connected? And what will make you feel alive, no matter how long this time lasts? Let's work on that together over these next days and as we start into Holy Week next week. I will see you in worship on Sunday morning as we celebrate Palm Sunday. Stay well, be well, no matter what.